Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hello, I'm Randy Piers. Welcome to Sector B, the business of Brooklyn on Brooklyn Independent Television. If you can sum up today's economic picture in a phrase, it's probably this: the recession's ending, but I'm out of work, so who's celebrating? The holidays are an especially tough time to be without a job, but they also bring an uptick in temp work. Sector B's Brian Vines went out looking for tips and tricks on how to find a part-time position. And with some luck and effort, maybe it can turn into a permanent one.
It's clearly that time of the year again, and along with the jingle bells and holiday sales comes a fresh crop of seasonal jobs. And not a moment too soon for the 10% of New Yorkers who are currently unemployed.
How long have you been out of a full-time job now?
6 months. Everywhere I go, it's like, we're in a hiring freeze, we're in a hiring freeze, we're in a hiring freeze.
Before last year's financial crisis, the holiday season brought some 25,000 extra jobs to New York City. And there was always work at the post office. And retailers made up the bulk of seasonal jobs. But with sales slumping and the post office enacting a hiring freeze, competition for seasonal jobs is harder than last year's fruitcake. There's no extra help for the holidays this year.
Not at all. We just work harder and just try to stay alive.
Despite the bleak outlook, Kerwin Pilgrim, the Brooklyn Public Library's coordinator of business and workforce development, believes there is hope for job seekers.
Kerwin, are there jobs out there?
There are jobs out there. It's going to take a lot of work. It's part of getting into that hidden job market by researching, by staying abreast of all the articles that are coming out and, what are growth areas and what areas have opportunities. You just have to really, really work hard, do your research, stay positive during the process, and visit your library and use the resources that we have available.
But if you're one of the 126,000 Brooklynites collecting $405 a week in unemployment benefits, before you do the job, you'd better do the math.
A lot of Christmas jobs will pay $9, $10, $11, $12, maybe that at top. After taxes, you would end up making less than you would on unemployment.
When she lost her job as a corporate recruiter, Janet Rafa joined the 405 Club, a website that bills itself as the official unemployment support network in New York and beyond. Her recessionals column chronicles making it in Brooklyn on $405 a week.
Don't get depressed if there's no movement in January. In December, this is the time you should be putting in resumes, you should be networking, if you can get into Christmas parties or something of that sort, visiting people in their offices when it's slow to do informational interviews. So just because the job is not going to start in December doesn't mean December is a washout. It's a time to sort of help transition, if not to start.
I'm going to put you on the spot now. Give me your 3 top tips for helping someone shorten their job search.
First of all, research. You have to know what jobs are out there. You also have to research companies when you get those interviews so that you can perform. Secondly, you have to plan. You not only have to just send out your resume blindly, but you have to plan a job search campaign. How exactly are you going to try to get into those positions that are best matched for you?
And finally, your last tip to get you that job.
You must definitely act on what you've been planning. Get out there, do the networking, contact employers, do the cold calling, join different clubs and organizations, stay abreast of what's going on in terms of the job market as a whole by reading the newspapers and doing research. Again, all those things you can do here at the library.
2010, new year, new job.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
I'm Brian Vines for Sector B.
Brooklyn Independent Television on the BCAT TV network.